Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, since many of you have put effort in the stalls, I want to make a video and share with you so that you know how to relate your stall experience with the topics we have studied up till now before the midterms. I won't go into details for each topic, but for certain, important topics. For example, if we talk about chapter number 1, I'll say that, for example, we studied about the marketing orientations. So, what you can think is that how, while you set up the stall, which orientation do you found most relevant or applicable? Since the stall was only for 7 days and you don't really need or have this desire to have a long term relationship with the customers or the consumers you will deal in the stalls. So for you, the most relevant orientation was the marketing orientation. How? Well, before you set up the stall and before you purchased the products which you would sell in the stall, it was obviously more relevant for you to have a basic idea which food items are in more demand inside the ComSets University, because most the students will not be having Easy Pesa, Jazz Cash, or bank accounts. They will be having disposable income. So instead of going for what the students want, it would have been preferable that you bring those products which are in demand. That is, those food items for which the students can easily pay for. Obviously, production orientation isn't relevant for this particular stall event. So, if you want to relate the stalls with marketing orientation, you can most probably relate the market orientation. If we talk about the chapter 2, which was about strategic management, you can relate that, okay, since you are setting up a stall for the first time, you would require to set up the mission. Now, the purpose of this stall was absolutely not to generate revenue or profit. The main purpose of this stall was to gain experience in terms of dealing with the customers and also with the partners in a business. And of course, when setting up a business, from the course perspective, information about different topics related to marketing. This student week came around 3 weeks or 4 weeks into the semester. By then, you certainly did not have lot of top knowledge about marketing, but certainly, anyhow, since uh, we will continue to study more topics, so some of that experience you can relate after the midterms and in the final exams. For now, you can also relate anyway from the perspective of mission for the stall or the business of small scale stalls for 1 week. You can think, okay, one of the missions can be to generate enough revenue to cover the costs, then to fulfill customers' needs and wants in terms of providing those food items which they want to experience within the university premises. Another mission can be that you want to gain experience so that in later semesters or maybe in the summer semester next year, you may start or partner with some other company for 3 months in some business locality and do a small scale business, or in fact start a small scale business. Next, to set up the objectives of your stall business, you would Then do the SWOT analysis. For SWOT analysis, you can put up put up the strengths, such as you are doing this event with collaboration of a group which is based on your choice. Weakness will be you don't or haven't really done this activity before. There will be certainly inhibitions or confusions. Opportunity can be that you are conducting this activity in a secure environment. You have security guards, and then your teachers and the consumers, that is the end customers, will be also aware that they will be dealing with you, but and you would be of course the sellers, but you are also students like them, so they will most probably behave in a nice manner. Threat can be that the same advantages will be having will be having by those of your competitors. Maybe a product, a food item you bring can be also brought by them next day. Next up will be the analysis of your portfolio. Since you will be starting the business at this stage, you might not be able to construct the growth share metrics, but you can have a basic idea. And very soon, after let's say one day, you will be able to put forward or assign or put your strategic business units, that is, the different products you bring in your stall for sale, in different quadrants of the growth share metrics. For example, if you set up a stall with biryani, slush, let's suppose only two items, next day, after one day's experience, you might be able to put biryani under stars category and slush under cash cow category. Why? Maybe because slush is being sold by multiple other competitors as well. It is in demand, but it does not really require a lot of effort. Okay, and the market is already saturated, so there's no point to further invest in its marketing. Whereas for biryani, maybe with more advertising, you will be able to capture more market. So basically, what I would want you to do is to consider the different products you have sold during the stalls into the different growth share metrics. Similarly, the ends of market and product penetration metrics. Of course, for market penetration, you don't have much opportunity, but there is an opportunity for the product penetration. You can bring more products. Of course, you have done that. Some of you introduced new products, considering there were some products with less sale and with some products more sale. Maybe you found the competitors were able to sell certain products more, so you also started in bringing those products in your stall. So you can then relate these products in the ends of metrics, which is the product market expansion grid. Similarly, you can relate at how the chapter number 3 about the marketing environment can be related. For example, the macro environment can be considered as, let's say, having the political system and the legal system in Pakistan, and to be specific, Islamabad from your stall's perspective. Just before the student week, there were 3 days of total lockdown because of the PTI's protest. Because of that, certainly you would have had doubts whether you will be able to set up the stall in a proper manner. or even in fact maybe you would be able to have the student week. So maybe if you had half-heartedly considered to participate in the student week, and then all of the sudden this PTI protest and the lockdown issue appeared, you would have further got tensed. The reality is these things are experienced by businesses, and this is what you experienced yourself. I don't need to relate my experience now because you have personally experienced it. If you had participated, if you had coordinated, if you had made payments to the management, and then you had come to know if there is this issue of lockdown by the government, by the federal government. So certainly it would have disappointed you, stressed you, whether you were right in investing. As the teacher myself, although I was not in coordination all the time, but that was my aim. I wanted you to do this activity on your own. I did not want to supervise it. I wanted you to have a free hand. How you coordinate it, how you make a group, what product you sell. So that is why I gave you the free hand. But I was also concerned that I motivated you to participate in this student week and set up stalls, and then out of nowhere this lockdown appeared. So I was stressed, but this is exactly what happens when you are participating in a business and not doing a job. As an employee, I had no issue whether there's student week or not. I had absolutely no problem. But just since I had motivated you, the students, to participate and to invest, I was concerned, but I did not show it to you because it would have maybe affected you in the negative manner. But this is exactly how the macro environment, the politicians, the legal system, or the law system influences all the business organizations. You can relate, for example, that if you had desired to bring in certain products from Peshawar. In fact, now I can recall one of the participants in this event. He's my ex-student. He had salt lamps. In fact, it was right in the center, but he was able to set up the stall on Wednesday, only for one day, because most probably he was having the issue of bringing the products from Peshawar. Obviously, you can understand because of the logistics problem, which was because of the PTI protest, which was originating mostly from Peshawar area. Similarly, you can think that the weather, nature can have effect on the product's sale. For example, I remember one of the days was quite pleasant. On that day, there was more demand for warm products such as tea or coffee. Last